Hello, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Morning Five here on April 7th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle. Ohio State held its 11th practice of the spring on Saturday, and it was Student Appreciation Day. More than 2,500 students showed up, and it was quite the scene, with the students often being within a few feet of the action. The Buckeyes scrimmaged quite a bit on Saturday, and I'm going to begin talking about the defensive standouts. We'll update you on the offense near the end of the show. It was a great day for redshirt freshman cornerback Eli Apple, who had 2 interceptions and got his black stripe removed. Apple is running with the second-team defense and should play quite a bit this season. Kerry Combs told me Apple is a guy that could come in and play nickelback as well. It's good to see Apple making his move. Saturday was my first time seeing Raekwon McMillan go live for an extended period of time, and I couldn't have been more impressed. He can stuff the run up the middle and make plays sideline to sideline. My prediction is that McMillan won't be the starter to begin the 2014 season, but will be the starter by the time Big Ten season begins. I also continue to be impressed by redshirt freshman walkout linebackers Darren Lee and Chris Worley. Lee is the starter at the position, and his best play on Saturday is when he violently hit true freshman Stephen Collier on a QB keeper near the line of scrimmage. Lee plays with a lot of fire, and he is going to be a fan favorite. And it's good to know Worley is playing well as his backup. The coaches say Worley is going to be a factor on both defense and special teams this season.
O-H-I-O.
Now let's turn our attention to recruiting. And who better to turn to for that than the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic.
On Saturday, the Buckeyes held their Student Appreciation Day scrimmage, and while not a huge group of prospects were on hand, certainly there were some fine prospects that made it to OSU on Saturday, including 2 prospects that arrived at Ohio State having already been offered a scholarship by the Buckeyes. One, offensive lineman Austin Clark, a 6'6", 280-pounder, made the trip to Ohio State from Virginia with his father, and Austin Clark went home very, very happy with everything he heard and saw. Clark, who was on his 3rd visit to Ohio State this past weekend, was certainly very much involved watching Ohio State's practice, talking to Urban Meyer and Ed Warner, and the 2 Buckeye coaches made sure that Clark knew exactly how much they want him to become a Buckeye, and Clark in turn went home saying that Ohio State is absolutely one of his top choices. In fact, Austin Clark said he is going to narrow his list down to perhaps the top 5, 6, or 7 in the next week or 2 weeks. And Ohio State is one school that absolutely will be on that list. And Austin Clark said he will definitely get back to Ohio State for another visit. Clark attended the Ohio State-Penn State game last season, and since then has certainly held Ohio State in very high regard. And his visit to OSU this past weekend did nothing but enhance the Buckeyes' chances. Also on campus was running back Michael Weber from Detroit Cass Tech High School. Weber was one of over a half dozen Cass Tech prospects on campus at Ohio State on Saturday. Weber, though, was the one in attendance already having been offered a scholarship by Ohio State. Weber told me after his visit on Saturday that Ohio State will definitely be one of his official visits. Weber said he's not sure about the other official visits, but he's absolutely certain Ohio State will be an official visit. Weber is one of the country's top running back prospects, and while the Buckeyes have a shot at some other great running backs, including Damian Harris from Kentucky, Weber would certainly be an interesting addition to the Ohio State program, because not only would Ohio State be getting an outstanding back in Michael Weber, but they also would be keeping him away from Michigan and Michigan State, who definitely want to keep Weber in state at their school. So certainly Michael Weber is another outstanding prospect the Buckeyes did very well with this past weekend.
Thank you, Bill. And Bill already has his wildly popular What I Am Hearing feature on the site right now for subscribers. Bill has updates on 5-star prospects Torrance Gibson and Christian Kirk that you won't want to miss. If you're not a subscriber, try our 30-day free trial.
It's Division I football!
As promised, now let's talk about the offensive standouts from Saturday's scrimmage. Anyone who thinks Curtis Samuel will not be physically ready to play tailback as a true freshman better think again. Samuel is the real deal and rotated in a lot with the first-team offense. There's no question that sophomore Ezekiel Elliott will be the starter in my opinion, and he looked good during the scrimmage, including a play where Elliott ran over sophomore safety Cam Burrows. But Samuel is going to see the field a lot in 2014, and he showed off his skills on Saturday, including a 50-yard touchdown run up the middle and several other good plays. It was also a big day for redshirt freshman tight end Marcus Baugh, who caught 2 long touchdown passes from classmate J.T. Barrett and also made several other catches. Jeff Hireman is out for the spring following foot surgery, and Baugh has received a ton of valuable reps this spring. The coaches say he's really turned things around from last year, and that's good news for the Buckeyes because they don't have much depth at the tight end position. Nick Van Ette is a solid backup for Hireman, but Ball is the only young scholarship tight end in the program, and I'm glad to know he'll be staying in Columbus for a while and not going back to Los Angeles. If you want to know even more details about Saturday's scrimmage, subscribers can read our practice report that is on our front row message board. And once again, if you're not a subscriber, it's a great time to try our 30-day free trial. You get our spring football coverage, recruiting coverage, the daily boarding house, and everything else that comes with being a Bucknut subscriber. Thank you for joining us on the Morning 5. I hope everybody has a great day.